Hey, friends. Welcome to the Raising Boys and Girls podcast. I'm Sissy Goff.
And I'm David Thomas, and we're so glad you've joined us for this conversation. Let's dive in.
I was thinking about this episode.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking we need to laugh every 2 minutes or sing a song or do something really fun.
We should have hung a disco ball from the ceiling fan.
Can we just have an imaginary disco ball?
I love that idea.
Because we don't always bring the fun as ones. And sevens, we know that you need a little fun to be hooked in. We can't wait for you, in fact, to listen to the episode that comes out in 2 days with Aaron and Mary Killett, because Aaron Weber, my brother-in-law, and Mary Killett, our dear friend and office director, because they talked about that very thing.
Yes. And Mary was dancing when she came in the room to confirm your theory.
Was. So maybe hop over on YouTube and we can just dance periodically.
I love that plan.
Okay. We love sevens.
Wow, we love sevens, and we need sevens.
Yes.
And as ones, we're our best selves when we're moving towards seven.
I was going to say, we both consciously, I go to events and I think, okay, how can I lean towards more seven? How can I stay in that space more?
I know. We need to be asking that question all the time.
We think you're wonderful, seven.
We sure do.
We love being around you.
And we're going to start out talking about all the incredible strengths of sevens, the great things you bring to all of us. But first, we should probably say the name given to the seven is the enthusiast, sometimes the optimist or the adventurer, because you bring an incredible amount of energy, hope, and creativity to this world. And should we jump in with some strengths?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, you go first.
Okay, strengths of Enneagram Sevens. The first is that you are joyful and positive, which is part of one of the many reasons we love being around you. You naturally look for the good in any situation, and your optimism lifts all of us who are around you. It impacts all of our mood. You are often considered in a family the bright spot of the family. And you can't see right now, but we both think we might have dogs that are sevens. And my dog's bringing some fun right now. She is climbing on the back of the couch, wandering around, trying to get into all the things.
She was checking out the potential for snacks over here beside me.
Bright spot.
There it is. You are also creative and imaginative. You see possibilities everywhere and think outside the box. And these ideas spark innovation, adventure, and fun.
You are also energetic and enthusiastic. You naturally bring a contagious zest for life. And your energy motivates others, especially in the midst of groups or families.
Yes. You're flexible and adaptable. Sevens shift easily when plans change or challenges arise, which is an incredible gift to those of you who are parenting kids who've been towards some rigidity and inflexibility.
And anxiety.
Absolutely.
So important.
To be able to model that is so good. You have an ability to pivot, which helps families stay resilient.
Yes. You are engaging and relational. You form quick connections and you know naturally how to make others feel included. And you have a humor and a warmth that draw others in. I certainly feel drawn in. Just even talking about it makes me happy.
You're curious and adventurous. Sevens love exploring the world, new experiences, places, ideas. Sevens love to plan a trip. I once heard it said that sevens are planning their next trip on the way home from their last trip. And so there's that adventurous.
Yes.
You help others break out of routine and embrace wonder.
And you're resilient, which we've already mentioned, and future-oriented. Even in hardship, they look for hope or a path forward. And your resilience helps others find strength in tougher seasons. I feel like everybody listening wishes they were a seven right now.
They do.
I know.
At their best, Enneagram Sevens are vibrant, hopeful, imaginative, and uplifting. You bring life, adventure, and possibility to every relationship and every environment, which is why we love having you around.
Okay. Let's talk about some struggles. Sevens, hang in there.
Every number has them. Every number has strengths. Every number has struggles. We're going to talk about the struggles. You go first.
Enneagram Sevens have incredible gifts, but when they're stressed or avoiding discomfort, which is going to be a tendency for you, their strengths can flip into struggles. They fear being trapped in pain, emotional pain in particular, limitation, or boredom. So they often run toward activity and away from difficult emotions.
All right, so here's some key struggles, things to pay attention to. The first is that avoiding pain or discomfort. 7s may distract themselves from hard emotions with activity, plans, or excitement. This can make it difficult for them to sit with sadness, conflict, or grief, which is just a part of life.
Also struggle with restlessness and overscheduling. Your enthusiasm can lead to taking on too much social events, projects, ideas, too much of all the things. And that, in turn, can create burnout and unfinished commitments.
7s, you can also be impulsive. The desire for new experiences can push you into quick decisions without thinking through the consequences. And this could affect finances, relationships, or responsibilities. And I want to just pause here and say, I have been fascinated. I'd love to know your take on this over the years. We're going to talk about in a few minutes, if you think you're raising a 7, how many boys who I suspect could be 7s get identified early as having ADHD. And where I want us to stay open to all these possibilities, particularly as we talk about this impulsiveness and acting without thinking, and where that certainly is a benchmark of ADHD, but it's also a benchmark of being a 7. So before we jump to that place, that's a part of why we've loved this parenting personality series, so that we could think about what's foundational and true about their temperament. How could we understand and pay attention and work within that first before we might jump to something concerning? It may be there, but it may not.
Thank you. That's a great reminder. Another struggle for 7s is difficulty with follow through. You love starting things, but often struggle to finish them when the excitement fades in particular. And it's easy to jump from hobby to hobby or job to job or project to project, seeking stimulation and then getting bored with the mechanics and the drudgery of finishing something.
That's so true. Okay, we've talked before I talk about this 5th idea, about our dear friend Suzanne Stabile has taught us that the worst parts of us are also the best parts of us. The best parts are the worst parts. And one of your best parts is reframing everything as positive, which could serve you beautifully in one moment and really work against you in others. So while optimism is a gift, 7s can bypass difficult truths by reframing. It's fine. It's all fine. It'll all work out. And your loved ones may feel unseen if their struggles are brushed over.
And I would add to that, it feels like 7s can stay so positive, reframe. And then reality, when it hits extra hard, and then they can crash.
Oh, yes.
Rather than processing feelings along the way. Seems like an important thing to be aware of if you're a 7.
Can I just comment on that?
Please.
I'd be curious if you've seen this too. There are a handful of dynamics that I have seen be extra challenging with parents who are one number and kids who are another. And I wonder if you know what I'm about to say. I have seen some significant hurdles with a 7 parent and a 4 kid out of this dynamic. And where 7 parents can get extra frustrated with 4 kids who want to swim around in the sadness sometimes, and 7s who are pulling them toward optimism in all moments. So that's a great example of why we've loved this series. And the more we study and the more we know, the different ways we can operate with the people we love.
Amen to that.
And now a quick break to hear from one of our incredible sponsors who make the podcast available. Okay, you just got back from Disney with your nephews. How are you standing upright right now?
Barely. Let's just say Whit and Henry have a lot of energy, and their aunt needed something stronger than a Mickey pretzel to keep up.
So you packed mouse ears and everyday dose.
Exactly. It's coffee plus benefits. Same great coffee taste I love, but without the crash or jitters. And that was key when you're in line for Space Mountain with 2 boys singing It's a Small World.
You needed a small cup of clean, sustained energy.
Totally. It combines 100% Arabica coffee with lion's mane and chaga, collagen protein, and nootropics to fuel your brain, boost focus, and keep you steady all day long.
And no crash, no jitters, just coffee that helps you survive Disney crowds and real life.
Yes, it takes 30 seconds to make, so it was my morning lifesaver. 1 cup covers coffee plus vitamins, minerals, and amino acids.
Okay, friends, here's how to get it. Get 45% off your first subscription order of 30 servings of Coffee Plus or Bold Plus. You'll also receive a starter kit with over $100 in free gifts, including a rechargeable frother and gunmetal serving spoon by going to everydaydose.com/RBG or entering RBG at checkout. You will also get free gifts throughout the year.
That's everydaydose.com/RBG for 45% off your first order.
Everyday Dose, fuel for Disney days and real-life chaos alike. And now back to the show.
Next, fear of limits or being trapped. So routine, long-term commitments, or the minutia of just, again, that daily drudgery can feel suffocating at times. And it's easy to resist anything that feels restrictive, including, at times, emotional closeness that requires vulnerability. That can be tough for a 7.
And the last one would be mental escape. When overwhelmed, 7s can retreat into fantasy, planning, future dreaming instead of addressing what's happening right now. Their mental getaway can disconnect them from the present moment or from people who really need them.
At their core, 7s struggle when they're trying to outrun pain. Their growth comes from slowing down, pausing, and allowing themselves to experience the full range of emotions, not just the fun parts.
Okay, let's talk about some strengths of 7s unique to the context of parenting. Some things we have seen be true of 7 parents in incredible ways. You bring joy, fun, and lightness. 7 parents can create a warm, playful atmosphere at home. I have sure watched your brother-in-law do that in amazing ways with your nephews as a 7 dad. They help their kids see the bright side of life and find joy in everyday moments. Their enthusiasm makes family life feel adventurous and full of possibility.
They encourage creativity and curiosity. I was thinking about you saying that about Aaron, and both boys' beds feel like a picture of a 7.
Yes.
Aaron can do anything. Again, you're going to hear from him in a couple of days, but he's amazing at cooking, at building, at raising funds for Daystar, so many things. But he saw these fabulous restoration hardware beds and replicated them. And I think the boys feel like they're living and sleeping in an adventure, just being in their rooms. It just is such, I think as a 1, I would never take that on because I wouldn't feel like I could do it exactly. And he just went ahead and did it. And they are beautiful and amazing. And the boys adore them.
And you know what? Even as you were telling that story, I was thinking when Connie and I came to their house last time when we all had a big dinner and we went upstairs so Wick could show us his new bed. Even the way he showed it to us felt like the way a 7 dad would present it. You know, he was like, close your eyes, you know, and then led us into that space. And I thought, wow, what a gift to grow up in the middle of that surprise and adventure and zest for life.
Creativity and curiosity. 7 spark imagination and help kids explore interest, ideas, and the world around them. That is certainly true of Aaron. They introduce their children to new experiences, books, places, projects, hobbies that expand their horizons, which we certainly believe kids need more than ever today. Kids feel inspired and supported in trying new things.
7 parents are flexible, adaptable, and up for anything. When plans change, as they often do with kids, 7 parents adjust quickly, which is a superpower. Their resilience helps the whole family stay calm and positive during hiccups. They model for their kids how to pivot, laugh, and keep going when life doesn't go perfectly, which is something we talk about all the time with anxious kids that they need that.
Yes. Okay, struggles for 7 parents in particular. Number 1 would be what we've been talking about, avoiding hard emotions. 7s naturally steer away from sadness, conflict, and disappointment. When kids feel big emotions, a 7 parent may unintentionally cheer them up instead of sitting with the hard feelings. And as a result, I think sometimes kids can get bigger just to get you to hear them. Kids may feel rushed through their pain instead of comforted in it.
I think I've seen a lot of this in my work with amazing 7 parents. They can lean toward overscheduling and overcommitting.
Mm.
Their enthusiasm leads to a lot of plans, a lot of fun plans, activities, and ideas, but this can unintentionally overwhelm kids who need downtime. It can also exhaust the parent, leading to burnout or inconsistency, which we'll come back to in a few minutes.
And difficulty with follow through. 7s love starting things, but finishing them can be tough. Chores, routines, discipline, and even promised adventures can fall through when the excitement fades. Kids also may feel confused about structure or unsure of what to count on.
All right, let's talk about some growth and grace for Enneagram 7 parents. So, growth for an Enneagram 7 parent would be remembering that your orientation to time is the future. So, every one of us is oriented either a little more to the past, the present, or the future. And the long game is to figure out how could we balance all three of those more. But your orientation time is the future. So you are incredible, as we've discussed, at dreaming with kids, but you can struggle with sitting with kids in the present, particularly in feelings and hard circumstances. So what this looks like is sitting with a kid who's sad, anxious, or frustrated without immediately trying to distract or fix it, allowing feelings to unfold rather than jumping to the bright side of reframing, and saying things like, "That sounds really hard. I'm right here with you." Mm-hmm. Showing that emotions, even the unpleasant ones, are safe and survivable.
Yes.
You want to talk about some grace?
Grace for an Enneagram 7 parent. Because 7s have a half range of emotions, you have to learn to trust that staying with discomfort is a form of love. And in fact, something that kids need desperately. We are living in an age where kids do not want to be uncomfortable. And so helping them see that is so important. Choosing to stay present in a hard moment doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're growing. And it's enough for your kids that you simply stay. Grace sounds like, I can do hard things. I don't have to escape.
All right, 3 things we want for every 7 parent. Even quiet, ordinary, or emotional moments become powerful when you stay with them instead of reaching for the next fun thing. Being with them is more important than entertaining them.
Your instinct is to lift the mood or make things better, but kids don't need you to move them out of their feelings. They need you to stay with them in their feelings. Hard emotions won't trap me. I can sit in them, and my kids can too. It's something we want you to remind yourself of regularly.
We also want to remind you that follow through with kids builds trust. Your ideas are wonderful, and your kids love that about you. But finishing what you start, bedtime routines, discipline, commitments, promise plans, helps your kids feel grounded and safe.
Okay, a few things to consider if raising a 7. Number 1, they have an insatiable appetite. They want more of anything, more things, more experiences, etc. They may try a lot of new things, and stick-to-itiveness can be hard. Contentment takes practice. And I'm just going to say a lesson I learned. We don't know yet. We wouldn't guess necessarily what Henry is, but I just had an amazing experience. David and I spoke in Orlando. I think y'all know, if you're a podcast listener, that I love Disney. And so because we were there, I did a little research, found out it was the first nights of the Christmas parties. I am my most 7 self at Disney. And so I made plans to take Henry, just the 2 of us, and go to both Christmas parties. Let me tell you that Disney caters to 7s like nothing you've ever seen. The fact that every ride ends in a gift shop is brilliant.
So true.
And one thing I learned, and this might be a hack for any child you take to Disney, but especially a kid who's got some 7 in them, is that hard no's are good. I just did a lot of like, I don't know, Henry, I think we just got something, or I think we talked about getting something at blank. And I mean, I needed to start off with some hard no's. And I think 7s are moving so fast that sometimes when we're gray, it doesn't register to the same degree. And so don't be afraid to draw a hard line with kindness, with empathy, but a hard line with a 7 for them to really hear you in the midst of moving so fast. because they will have an insatiable appetite,
God,
especially at Disney.
that is so true.
Mm.
They move fast, they think fast, they talk fast, they feel slow. That's the one thing that's a little slow. 7 kiddos can be scattered, forgetful, and sometimes unreliable, particularly when it comes to basic things like chores and homework. Their mind travels to what's coming next more than what's needed now. And being in the moment and feeling feelings takes practice. So we would argue all kids benefit from a feelings chart. There are a handful of numbers that
Yes.
need extra help, those that are feelings repressed, and 7s are 1. So that's an important thing to be practicing. We're going to have to labor longer probably with these kiddos, likely with these kiddos.
And I want to add to this that I think 7s feel the feelings inside of them are deep.
Yes.
I mean, they are so tenderhearted. They're so empathetic. They're so genuinely kind and caring. And it's hard to let themselves go there sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's not that the feelings aren't there. It's just that they can stay distracted in the fun because I think they feel vulnerable and can start to feel like their role in life is to bring the fun and not to let themselves feel those things. And so giving them opportunities to talk about that. I love that, David.
Yeah.
And lastly, we would say Enneagram 7s can accomplish a lot, but the accomplishing might be chaotic. Think about group projects. We want to celebrate that these kids are curious and imaginative, energetic, and adventurous, and that they bring so much good to the world.
I have some dear friends who have 3 children, and their youngest daughter is a senior in high school and about to go away to college, and she is undoubtedly a 7, and they've known for quite some time. And I can remember when she was in elementary school, she loved to bake with her mom. She loved to make crafts, and her mom would say, I have to gear up. Her mom, who's a 1, would say, I have to gear up for this because my kitchen will look like someone threw a grenade into it when she's done. The dining room table, when she gets all the art supplies out, I mean, they can trash a house. So go back to what Sissy said about the chaotic, particularly if you're a number that, like a 1, who would get more stirred in the chaos and the mess. And
the mess doesn't matter. I tell myself that a lot when the boys come
what a
over.
great
The mess
thing to
doesn't
say.
matter.
And you all, our great hope as we keep talking about all these numbers is that it gives you more insight into yourselves, into the kids you love, the people you live with. And as Sissy said, you are going to love our conversation that's coming up with our 2 dear friends who are Enneagram 7s. And I will say, I don't know about you, but my favorite question we've been asking all season long is the question about knowing what you know now. Tell a story or think about a time when you could see evidence of your number revealing itself. And the stories have been fascinating to hear. I've loved it, which I hope give insight and perspective into, as you study your kids, who they might be, the amazing way that God designed them, and how we could, again, with all of these things in mind, be parenting more in tandem with that. So thanks for being in it with us. We've loved this series with you all.
Yes, we have. David, what a team we have that we get to call friends who help make this podcast possible. Chris Starrett, our engineer.
Our management team at KCH.
And we are thrilled to be a part of the That Sounds Fun network.
Our music was created by the insanely talented Dave Haywood of Lady A.
And if this podcast felt helpful to you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, all the things.
We are grateful for you and cheering you on always.